they're showing the race, and then they're talking about him as he's riding. And then they switch to the coach. And the coach is just sitting there telling him, "Come on, baby, you got it, you got it." Are you gonna come out of it, or are you just gonna stay there? I'll stay there.
Thank you. You look good in those roller coasters.
I'll stay there.
That's a look, bro. That's a look. You came. You saw.
Oh man! All right. Welcome to Cantua Creek Road Race. I'm Ben, and I'm eating ice cream.
And I'm Will. And
you're not eating.
I'm not eating ice cream, but I don't deserve ice cream after this performance I did.
Well, you see, Will and I have a really healthy relationship with cycling. So naturally, as others do, we either reward or punish ourselves. Usually it's flagellation related, but today it is ice cream. What?
Okay. Ben says some choice words there.
I thought we were editing everything out that made me look bad.
No.
Okay, all right. Hold on. Let me justify myself. First off, the context. There is a pretty threatening break, 1 minute and 30 seconds up the road.
Mm-hmm.
This is the last lap.
Yeah, we just did our U-turn, so we're starting. We just did our descent. We're heading out, so we got like 40 minutes left of this race.
So the question here is, how do you motivate a peloton of people who have been riding at zone 2 pace for most of the race to pick up the pace because it's the last lap and we don't want to race for third? I would say the only people that have raced for Xena Ranch would be yourself and myself, right?
Oh yeah.
In this peloton?
Yeah, I think so, right? Yeah.
So I'm working through trauma, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, we've already had one road race where we didn't get a race for the win. So
how many road races or races have you been where like the podium got away from you?
Well, Chula Vista was like 2 or 3.
Chula Vista was like
that was a November trip. I don't think anybody.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
not that many. I don't know.
So in Mexico, we have these highway races, and like it becomes, because they're like 70 miles and super hot.
Yeah,
There's there's like 2 or 3 like big kickers, and so like there's always a split, and twice I've been caught on the wrong end of the sprint. And let me tell you, you do not want to be the fastest person in the slowest group. There is no worse feeling than that. So that's where I was. I spoke from a place of anger, and I do not apologize.
Never apologize. So let's. This is going to end up being a longer video. So I hope you appreciate the extra footage. It's going to be more of a podcast.
If you don't appreciate the extra footage, I completely understand.
Yeah, we've been trying to keep the video shorter, but I don't know. There's our boy Frankie pulling off, he's doing his thing. So you're going to get up here and start putting in more work. So let's talk a little bit about Cantua Creek, right?
Yeah.
High vibe or low vibe?
Well, so EJ, who we've met, he's a nice guy. He has like a rating system, and like a race should be rated first and foremost on bathroom availability. And let me just say that when we pulled in with like 40 minutes before the race started?
Yeah, which is early for us.
And I booted my girlfriend out of the van to wait in line for me, and it was necessary.
Dude, do you have this data synced up right, bro? You're doing 150 watts?
I'm sure I have like an excuse for this, but I was doing polls at some point. Was it showed in the video?
I don't think the data is right. There's no way you're doing 18 miles per hour here.
I think what I did was I did that thing where you get to the front and then you immediately pull off.
I'm just saying, because you were yelling at people for not taking polls. And
I'm a hypocrite. I don't know what to tell you.
That data better have been wrong.
There is plenty of data that shows me doing like 350 watts off the front.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't seen it, but I'm sure it exists.
Okay. I think your data's messed up because you're not at 60 cadence.
Well, I mean, I don't weigh much.
I've never seen you ride at 60 cadence. But okay. Well, anyway, so you messed up the data so bad.
What?
You just did an 801 spike?
Maybe I did.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, we're not editing this video. But okay. so Cantua Creek is one of those races. I feel like I think Santa Maria or the Santa Barbara race is even worse than this. But like, bring as many family members as you can, so you can just give them duties when you get there. Like, you have to stand in line to get the number. You have to stand in line so I can use the restroom. Cycling is a selfish sport.
No, this definitely ranks up higher than Santa Barbara, because if this were Santa Barbara, you would need an additional family member.
Damn, Frankie.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
go.
not bad, man.
Yeah.
Frankie was putting in work
Yeah.
to notify you of when these people would decide to start the race.
Yeah.
But I digress. I don't want to sound too catty today, because I'm really not. I'm just like, I have a lot of sugar in me.
Okay, so another talking point. This was, I'm going to consider this our first road race of the year.
well, Rosina's a road race.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Was
Is
Circuit race? I don't know.
That was weird. I like titled it as a road race because I thought it was, but they did call it a circuit race.
Yeah.
I don't know what the difference
Dude,
is.
it was 30
sound off below. in
It
the
was
comments.
35 miles. We did 70 miles today.
Rosina was just 35.
Yeah.
Wow. I
Or
felt
40?
Like death.
Or, I don't know.
That was a tough one.
But
Okay.
yeah,
well,
let's,
anyway.
let's compare Cantua Creek versus our typical CBR day. I'll start. It's like, it's such a weird feeling like rolling out, and like I would say the first 10 miles of this race, we were just noodling. Right?
Yeah, I was having like long, like multi-part conversations with people in the peloton.
Yeah.
I made friends. I learned people's names. I learned Woolsocks Alex's origin story. Yeah.
Who was in the break? Who was in the break that we're chasing down? It's him and another guy, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's he looked really intimidating.
He did
He's
a
got
crazy.
great calves.
He did a crazy day. I mean, that was the biggest break of the day. What, they had a minute 40?
Yeah.
Was that the third lap, right? Minute 40, and yeah, I mean, it was significant that like
I thought they were gone because these are
Yeah.
long laps. Like each lap is what, like I guess an hour or something like that.
and I mean they could have been gone if you know if we didn't change things up.
Yeah. If I could go back in time and do that again, I would be like third man in that break because it looked like it was gonna stay away.
That may have done it too.
Yeah, and if there was no control in the front because people were like coasting downhill, like arms straight, like they could have stayed away.
Yeah, but I was gonna say too. So like this race is weird because like at times you can feel very like chill and almost like you're like not in a race. But we did this race as a Cat 4s last year, so this is our second time doing it. So you know we're a bit of an expert, but we've had very similar experiences from the 4s to this. And man, when you do that, so you finish the first lap and you do that first U-turn, so you essentially go through the finishing climbs, which is the hardest part of this course. Like anybody would tell you that. Like, dude, the splits were insane. I mean, the field split in half.
Well,
Like it was
yeah.
it's crazy how quickly this race can go from like nothing to everything. You know?
And that's the thing, because like the chiller it is, you have to realize that like no one is struggling. Everyone has all the energy that they have. There's miles of open road ahead of you, and it wasn't like incredibly windy towards the beginning.
No.
And usually the wind can dissuade people from being really ballsy with their moves, but towards the beginning it was not that. So I think I was in 2 breaks, maybe 3. I don't exactly remember. They were all brought back, but it's just, you know, people were sending flyers because if you're riding at 150 watts in the middle of nowhere in a peloton of 50 people, and it was cold too, you're gonna want to do something, right?
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah, it gets boring otherwise. But yeah, and it's weird. So like this race, like it feels super chill, whatever. The U-turn is super hard, but you do the U-turn and like I swear, even if you get dropped in that climb, if you just keep on the power, like man, we just slow up to like 15 miles per hour.
Yeah,
after
people
the descent.
noodle on the
Yeah.
on the descent itself.
So I feel like this is a course where like you got to be calm because I mean like I got dropped in that first climb. Last year I got dropped even worse in that first climb. Like, you know, I ended up getting in between like the first group and the second group, and I was like by myself, and then the second group just flew by me, and I couldn't latch on any wheels.
I think that's like a major blind spot. Is like so now Will and I are on Big Orange, which is our first team. I'm not athletic. I have never been on a team in my life, with the exception of like being a 6-year-old playing soccer and riding the bench even then. But yeah, so we kind of have numbers. There were just 3 of us, but when your kit looks like our kit, it seems like there's 6 of us.
Yeah.
So maybe we should have like protected each other a little bit.
Yeah, I think we should have.
Which kind of brings me to just a thought here. So you and I have joined a team.
So I want to talk with you, Ben, a little bit about being on a team. And how has that experience been for you, Ben? Why did we join a team? Everybody's on a team. Why be on a team?
So I made notes on this. Number 1, cool kits with sponsors on them. When there's an intimidation factor, for every sponsor that you have on your kit, like people see that, and sponsors mean money, and money means people are paying you to do a job. Or at least that's what I thought before I got into cycling, and now I just don't know. Is this just dress up?
It may be slightly cosplay, but we're both signed up for it.
Is this like some weird like Type 2 rural version of Comic-Con that we've got? So the second thing is like maybe like a little bit more tangible, which is that like you have other people that kind of like take care of things for you, like you know, like those big like coolers full of Gatorade. That's a big deal, right?
Yeah. No, the support is insane. I mean, we can only speak from our experience with Big Orange, but it's just been a blessing.
Yeah, and usually like people who run teams are more mature than you are, and these people will like remind you to sign up for races on Bike Reg. And as someone who's forgotten to sign up for races on Bike Reg, that is also appreciated. Yeah. The third part is also quite important, and this might not be a thing in like Cat 5 or 4, but like once you get up to like Cat 3, there is the question of free shit. Would you like to speak on that, Will? Or are we bound by contract not to? Okay, all right. I'll start because I sense some confusion here.
Dude, we got some kits, bro. It's sick.
Yeah, we got kits.
I mean, they comped it, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
It's crazy. I never thought I'd get that.
Yeah, I'm like I'm very cheap. So like if someone gave me like a free gel, I would be loyal to them for a very long time. Kits are really expensive. Like good kits are very expensive, and I know that not all teams like will pay for your kits. Like sometimes you're still paying for the equipment or you get it at a discount, but like I wouldn't say that we're like the poorest people who race bikes, but like we are not the richest people who race bikes. Like no question. Like most of the people around us are in STEM. So maybe you're watching this and the economic factor is not part of your decision-making process. But I mean, I think that's important. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, our kits go crazy. You know, and I didn't know we were gonna have this crazy of a kit, but it's just been an added benefit.
Yeah,
You know?
and just like the best beer is a free beer, like the best kit is free kit, because like at least I have a tendency of falling.
Yeah, and destroying it.
Yeah, and that gets very, very expensive. So
Ben had a rough off season.
Yeah, the last race I fell in was in like 2021, and then I proceeded to fall like 3 or 4 times, like in training and like immediately after races.
All in the skin suit.
Oh yeah. I would say, oh, that skin suit is done.
I wish we would have done something from the Chuck Pontius race last year where you were racing that in this
Ah,
torn
yeah.
up skin suit.
Yeah, just tattered.
Like you were pretty much just racing naked.
People were like asking about me, like they were concerned for my well-being.
Yeah, I thought you just crashed.
Yeah, but anyway, so those are the positives, and I think there are brake has been caught. There are quite a few positives to go, but then there's also reasons why you're not on teams. I'll just speak for myself. I was super hesitant to join a team. I was prideful in not being on a team, and like, what are maybe some drawbacks of joining a team?
Well, again, it's not. There's no obligation to do anything. I feel like at this level for anybody, but like I felt like if you join a team, like you need to like be like you gotta get roles. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
like you may be designated to a role, and I was cool with that, which is why I signed up.
But let's talk about that for a second, because like from the outside looking in, you think that teams are pretty structured, and that when you join a team, you do have a job. When you have a team, you do have a definite leader that you have to support, and if you don't support them, then there's going to be friction. So I think it deserves to be said that like that is not the case,
Unless you really advocate for it.
or if you're on Team 6.
Yeah, but that's a pro team.
Well, yeah, and that's the point that I'm making, is that the majority of people that you see on teams are basically on cycling clubs. So what I thought would be a negative or a complication really wasn't one. And I know you had anxiety about that too. And at the end of the day, it's kind of case by case. I don't think like you're obligated to do anything for anyone else unless you're being paid to do it and it's in the contract.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I don't know. I can only say it for me, but like these races are hard enough where like it's like even if I wanted to win, like I can't always win. Like it's not really a decision of like, you know what I mean? Like you can come up with a plan, but it's like it doesn't really mean much. So sometimes being on a team just becomes a wash. It's not like just having numbers really helps sometimes.
And that's what I was thinking.
Other times it worked really good. Like
Well-
Rosino was crazy.
Well, yeah. That's it's kind of like what you make of it, because I remember taking a lot of pride in like, oh, like we're the only ones in top 10 without a team, or look at all these teams that we beat. And the reality of it is that like actual strategy and coordination between a bunch of bicycle racers wearing the same kit is really difficult to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not impossible. Goats. But are they goats or are they sheep? But it does exist. And so anyway, I don't know. I feel like I lost my point.
We can talk about the race, I guess. So
Oh yeah,
we're coming into the finishing climbs, and we're gonna like pass a masters group here, and
so much more frightening.
yeah, this was actually yeah, like this is kind of what I have to say. Like we're gonna have some pretty close like overlapping of wheels here. Those guys did not want to move. It was hilarious.
It's almost like, do you think they were hard of hearing, Will?
I don't know.
That's it. Yeah. Anyway, so
But I feel like this is like another thing. So like this end of Cantua, dude, it was pretty exciting, honestly. Like racing it, like,
this is the most like at risk I've ever felt under 20 miles an hour.
yeah, like I would have been a lot more scared if I knew like we were going. I mean, like just because the speed was relatively low because we're climbing, like it I was like, I'm okay
it
with
negates a lot of the crazy swinging that's going on here.
Yeah, exactly. And so Ben and I are together here, and we're in good position. I mean, we're top 10 wheels. Like, we're at the front.
Yeah.
And this is what we were saying about the wind. Like, man, this right side was not where you want to be. The wind turns, and we were getting a pretty gnarly crosswind right at us.
And it didn't seem insane in the laps leading up. The wind kind of picked up towards the end, and wind has always been a blind spot for me, and ego has also been a major weakness for me too. And both of those collided on this day. So I was like, it's just wind. We're going uphill. How big of a deal is wind? It's a pretty big deal.
It's a big deal, yeah. Because I was gonna say, like, so like we did this finish, and we actually went slower up this climb than the first lap, but like I did like 50 more watts, which is pretty insane.
Yeah, and just to clarify too, the wind is going from the right to the left.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, what I should be doing here is adapting and trying to move my way to the left, which I think I was thinking about doing, and I start to make moves. I am sheltered there, and Will, you are too, although I do feel a lot of anxiety from your point of view.
So this is your point of view now, right?
Yeah, so switching up, I've moved to like the far right here, which is probably the worst place to be, but it was so chaotic inside. People are crossing wheels. I feel like a crash is inevitable at this point. It's incredibly tight, and I mean, you just look at that through the GoPro. In real life, it's even worse. And so I was thinking, well, on the right, I have an escape route. They've been enforcing the centerline rule. Like, I don't want to be DQ'd. Yeah. So I made a call to stay towards the right, and that is what happened here. What are you thinking like here? Because we're at the. Is this at 2.5 hours? How long was this race?
It was like 3 hours.
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you feel like you have legs at this point? Like, what are your expectations?
I did, because I mean, I sat in. You worked a lot on putting that brake back. I felt like I could contest it, but I was quickly shown that I couldn't.
Well, we're gonna talk about that too, because it's like part of why we do the videos, like other than just like raging narcissism, is like I wouldn't have been able to remember how I lost this race without looking back at this. It's just too complicated, or I'm too stupid to figure it out. But watching this right here, this is a good spot where I'm at. I'm in a little bit of a bubble. I'm fairly protected. I should be slotting in over there behind the VFR racer. But I'm exposed again here. And you see some traffic coming up to the right, which adds a little bit more to it. A lot of people are hesitant to move over for this guy, and like, I don't know, like, no one really cares who wins Cantua that much. Like, we didn't have to kill him for it. Anyway, you see how it's gonna go to a downhill, and then it's gonna pitch up over here. And look at this guy just riding on his tops. I'm a little curious. This
is the wind angle.
Yeah, high winds. So what can I say that the text doesn't? This is going to be a great idea.
Launch, baby. Man, dude.
I still had legs. I still have legs. Now I should be moving over to the left right here, so I can at least cover the left.
Yeah.
And then I cover the center line, and they come around me on the right.
Yeah.
Because I was kind of thinking that I would feel out, with 1K to go, but I guess I was marked. I don't know.
Yeah, that ended up just keeping the pace up. Yeah, and I.
Well, you can see I let out all my teammates. Ooh, grab.
Yeah, and then I think I launch on the other side.
Oh yeah, you see Will come up right here, and you're protected. You're doing really well here. Your positioning's very good. So this is a pretty depressing video for me to watch, to be honest with you. The entire field, I believe, has passed me at this point.
No, not quite. Yeah.
We're getting there.
See, this end is brutal. Like I don't know why, but man, dude, the end finish is always really tough in this race.
My last year's end finish was very fun for me. Like I ate on that sprint at the end. I need to move over all the way to the center line here, and I'm still not doing it. I don't know why not. Like I can't explain this to you right now why I'm still in the right. But I think I was just so tired that my brain stopped working.
Yeah, you're seeing cross-eyed.
Yeah. You can see that I've pretty much given up at this point. Although you might not believe me, but 300 watts for me is still, I'm going pretty fast. We're gonna go back to Will, so you're gonna see Will play out. And if you watch to the right, like I haven't done my launch yet, and I'm about to, and it's kind of funny to watch if you're not me, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like looking back on this for me, like I would just ride the center line at this point because if you give any like
that's what I was gonna say.
Any space to your left there, somebody's just gonna try to take it. Because I feel like the center line rule is enforced, but it really isn't. Like if you go over it, like they'll just beep at you. I don't know.
Wow, that guy's making all the difference.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But you can see like you go, and then you're gonna see like everybody respond to your move here. Like the pace is gonna get picked up real quick.
Yeah. So
see, like you went, and then now everybody's like out of the saddle.
I'm kind of like, I'll be honest, I feel pretty good that attack looked threatening enough that the whole field responded to it. Jeremy choosing life, that was the right choice, I think. Well, yeah. Look at me. Just outside. Yeah.
I think at this point I was like, oh man, it's time to go. Like everybody's out of the saddle, so this is very painful for me. And
why are you moving right? Stay left. Oh, there you go. Good.
Well, I was trying to get in their wheel, and then
No, you're doing good. You look good. This is a really, really long kicker.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. So like I've launched my best sprint numbers at this point, and
move left.
Move
left. Don't be me.
Like if I could like go back, I'd probably just because I'm using everything. Like probably staying on that left and getting shelter from the crossman would have helped a little bit. But I think I'm just blowing up entirely. I feel like there's like a lot of different ways you can approach this finish. Like, and I did a pretty surgy effort to get in good position, and I was just kind of betting on like that I could stay up there.
I think the other element to it too is that like looking ahead to next time that we do this is that we have to just be very stubborn on not moving right. Stay left.
Well,
let
the
people
wind can
move.
be completely different. Yeah.
Well, if we're under similar conditions, stay left if we have a time machine, and do not move right. Like for no reasons at all. If someone's behind you, let them try to get around you in an unsheltered side. And because the wind today was nuts. It really was. Yeah.
So you're gonna see like I end up losing like what 5 or 6 positions in like the last 100 meters. It was insane, man.
This is like the end of Spartacus. You never saw that show, but like all the main characters die. Sorry, no Spartacus.
It was brutal, but you know what? Like I gave it my all, and it was like 17th, and and I think you finished a little bit stronger. You because like I said, you did like a lot more steadier effort. Like I went all in to get in good position.
I've been recovering now for a little bit, as you can see by the power, and I see Jeremy, who I was talking with earlier, and Jeremy's fast, so I was like, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get him, as a sign of respect, and also the tiger never gives up. So I did pounce. Well, anyway,
But really, like I feel like we had 2 different finishes, and I just blew up so hard. We actually ended up finishing pretty close together. Like I got 17th, Ben got like 21st. Frankie was just behind Ben. So
I did not see Will until this video. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I think I was just at the very back of like where the major splits were. But,
you know, actually, now that I'm thinking about this, is this the second race in a row where you finished ahead of me?
Yeah, but who's keeping track?